drug selling, human trafficking, racketeering, casino rigging, extortion, theft, arson, and murder are just some of the crimes that England's most infamous underworld gangs take part in. In TV productions like Peaky Blinders, these gangs have been glamorized, fictionalized, and even made to seem heroic. But this couldn't be farther from the truth. So don't go anywhere, because you're about to delve into the lives of the most dangerous people in London. The Cortesi brothers. We're going to be starting off with one of the biggest gangs in London, the Cortesi brothers. Brothers Augustus, Gus, Enrico, Frenchie, Paolo, Paul, and George Cortesi were involved in a gambling and bookmaking protection racket in London's West End. When they felt they weren't receiving a fair portion of the profits from gambling establishments and bookies, things started to go downhill. They grew apart from their fellow Italian gang, the Sabini family, which they'd been friendly with earlier. We'll be talking about the Sabini gang later in the video too. So when several members of both sides were shot and injured during a peacemaking meeting at a club in 1922, this dispute reached its boiling point. Paul and George were finally found not guilty, but Gus and Frenchie were convicted and sentenced to prison. With the brothers separated and two behind bars, the fear that the infamous gang spread was broken. The Firm. Now, the Kray twins are arguably the most notorious gangsters in the history of London. Born on October 3rd, 1933, Ronnie and Reggie Kray's gang, the Firm, terrorized London throughout the 1950s and 60s. They were involved in everything. Assaults, arson, armed robberies, protection gangs, murder, you name it. But here's the thing. Even though they were criminals, the two managed to gain some level of notoriety. Since they owned West End nightclubs, they mixed with politicians and entertainers, appeared in TV interviews, and were even photographed by David Bailey. It says a lot about the twins that they were one of the last people to be imprisoned at the Tower of London. They were found guilty in 1969, and each received a life sentence. Ronnie was in Broadmoor Hospital for his schizophrenia until he died on March 17, 1995, from a heart attack. Reggie was released from prison on compassionate grounds in August 2000 and died from bladder cancer just 9 weeks later. The Yiddishers. The Yiddishers, a band based in Whitechapel, took their name from their Jewish heritage, and they were one of the most well-known and brutal gangs in London. They engaged in the 1936 Battle of Cable Street, which was a defense of London streets against the infamous march of Oswald Mosley's British Union of Fascists. They fiercely opposed the fascist movement during the interwar period. And when it came down to it, the Yiddishers attacked both the fascists and the police who were guarding the Union of Fascists throughout the march. Now, the most notorious member of this gang was Jack Spot. He funded the 43 Club, a Jewish post-World War II street gang that clashed with the equally violent Union movement supporters and far-right groups. Not just that, Spot was also known for his control of East End rackets. The Torture Gang. London's cruelest gangsters were the Richardson family, or as the Torture Gang, as they were called on the streets. The main gang members were Eddie Richardson, Charlie Richardson, and later, Frankie Fraser. The Torture Gang was the biggest rival of the Kray brothers.
A shootout, right, is a fucking shootout!
The brothers shared a Camberwell upbringing before terrorizing the city in the 1960s. This gruesome group is accused of employing pliers to extract teeth, bolt cutters to sever toes, 6-inch nails to nail victims to the ground, and electric shocks until the victim was unconscious. Whippings, cigarette burns, and electric shocks were also their commonly used forms of torture. Following a fight in Catford on the day of the 1966 World Cup final, Eddie and the rest of the group were taken into custody. The three were jailed for a total of 50 years. The Sabini Gang. Now, let's talk about the Sabini Gang. The Italian quarter of London's Saffron Hill is where Charles Sabini was born. This place was pretty much a slum, and even served as the inspiration for Fagin's den in Oliver Twist. Sabini, who had a troubled life, created a gang that used protection rackets to rule the London racetrack underworld for the majority of the early 20th century. It had 100 members at its peak, had the power of imported Sicilian shooters, and was known for its razor attacks. It also engaged in criminal activities such as hiring hitmen, extortion, and theft. And to make their influence even more undeniable, the group had strong ties to judges, legislators, and law enforcement. As an Italian mob, they had plenty of support from other mafiosos who came from Italy. The Hoxton mob. The Hoxton mob was based in Soho and was one of many gangs that fought the Sabini gang and the Italian mob during the interwar period. The Clerkenwell Crime Syndicate. 3 brothers, Terry, Patrick Patsy, and Tommy Adam, founded the Clerkenwell Crime Syndicate. The gang also goes by the name of the Addams Family, or the A-Team. The group's believed to be responsible for at least 25 homicides, but the actual number may be much bigger. Through their brutal business of drug trafficking, robbery, extortion, and murder, they've built a staggering £200 million fortune. Even the 1991 murder of Frankie, a member of the torture gang, was connected to the A-Team. MI6 even spent £10 million investigating the gang leader's finances. Terry was sentenced to 7 years in prison in order to pay £750,000 for money laundering in 2007. The Noonan Brothers. Brothers Desmond, Damien, and Dominic Noonan didn't have it easy. Born into a family below the poverty line with 14 children, the brothers made money by running the doors and dealing narcotics at many of Manchester's nightclubs. At its peak, the Hacienda Club alone is thought to have contributed up to £50,000 per night to the brothers' income. And no one messed with the brothers, or there were consequences. When a rival gang threatened to take over the club, Dominic Noonan allegedly went to the competition, beheaded the owner's dog, and then put this dog's skull on a pool table. During the 20 years that Desmond and Dominic Noonan controlled Manchester's underworld, the police believe they were responsible for at least 25 unsolved murders. The Molly Boys. Let's talk about a modern-day gang that's just as ruthless as the rest, the Molly Boys. The gang got its name because many of the original members immigrated to Britain as young children from war-torn Somalia. The Molly Boys are famous for their extreme brutality, even by the gangland standards of London. The forms of torture they use are beyond even mentioning, since it's that violent. They were successful. They were making up to £50,000 a week from drug sales in 2018. And the streets they roam in, they're one of the places you can't be found in. The Valentin Road in Walthamstow, which has been dubbed Britain's most deadly street, is one of the Molly Boys' haunts. That's a wrap for this video. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching.